So in 2016, the Ghanaian artist Shatta Wile released a popular song called Mahama Paper. Now, I'm going to assume that the Mahama Paper that Shatta Wile was referring to is this Mahama Paper. However, there's another Mahama Paper that I want to discuss today. And I believe it's just as important as this Mahama Paper. So stay tuned to find out on the Eric McNeil Be Free Show.
Black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You've just discovered the Eric McNeil Be Free Show, where I show you how to live financially independent, being responsible for self, enjoying life, and empowering others. So, when I first moved here in 2016, the very famous Ghanaian artist slash musician slash singer, Shatta Wile, had just released a very popular song called Mahama Paper. And if you have not heard of Shatta Wile, he's perhaps the most popular artist in Ghana. And I don't keep up with the music scene that much, so if I tell you Shatta Wile is popular, and then he must be very popular. Now, he made a song with Beyonce. I believe that song is called Already, and it was a song for The Lion King that they re-released, I guess a new edition of The Lion King. I didn't watch it, but I heard about it and read about it. But that was a song where Shatta Wile, and a Jamaican artist called Major Lazer collaborated. And so that's Shatta Wile. And he has this reggae sound. And this song, Mahama Paper, Mahama Paper, my paper, paper, and soldier. You can barely understand, well, I could barely understand what he was saying, but it was a catchy song. It was a good song, nice song. Very popular. So this was an election year. 2016, of course, was election year. And at the time, John Mahama, who was the current president, was running for the president. And so everybody just assumed that this Mahama Paper was kind of an election song to help John Mahama's campaign. And Shatta Wile actually went on record and said that it wasn't. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but for the record, Shatta Wile said that the song was inspired by him seeing a story on TV where John Mahama was giving a speech, and he discovered that some pages from his speech was missing. So he stopped in the middle of the speech looking around. Well, let me show you right quick. Just look at here and I'll show it to you.
Mediation and Security Council presents us with the responsibility to finally approve the recommendations proffered therein. Of particular significance will be the signing of the Supplementary Act of Enhanced Powers of the ECOWAS Parliament. Of particular significance will be the enhanced powers of the ECOWAS. I'm missing some pages here. Well, I'm missing some pages here. I wonder what must have happened. But there are several other issues that will be discussed at this summit to do with the enhanced powers of the ECOWAS Parliament. We would also be discussing issues to do with peace and security in the West African sub-region.
So anyway, you can see that in the middle of the speech, he was lost for words. And he was looking for his papers. You know, it's like, my pages are missing. Where's my paper? And so that's the Mahama Paper that Shatawale was referring to. Is that Mahama Paper. So Shatawale say, you know, Mahama Paper. Now, so today, I want to discuss some Mahama Paper. And I'm not talking about this Mahama Paper, or the Mahama Paper that John Mahama was searching for. But I'm talking about this Mahama Paper. Yes. This is a cover anyway. It's holding my American passport, but it's a cover for an ECOWAS passport from the Republic of Ghana. And ECOWAS is the Economic Community of West African States. And that is the organization of West African states that have a trade agreement between them. So, yeah, so that's the passport, is the Mahama Paper that I'm referring to. And I want to just speak briefly about that, because I believe that that Mahama Paper is just as important as the other Mahama Paper that I showed. And I want to pause here because I believe that the country of Ghana has made a bold move in that it has given citizenship to a group of Africans living in the diaspora that relocated back to the country, and it streamlined the process. So they've made a bold move, and it's my opinion that the African countries and the sub-Saharan African countries need to follow suit and create some kind of program where they streamline the citizenship for the many Africans living throughout the diaspora that's trying to return here. Now, let's go back a little bit. John Mahama was the president of Ghana from, I guess, the year 2012 to about the beginning of 2017. And on his way out, he granted citizenship to approximately 34 African American and Afro-Caribbeans that were residing in the country. They had relocated to Ghana. Now, these people were granted citizenship outside the regular way that you obtain citizenship, right? You can come here and obtain citizenship like you can go to any country, but they have their rules and regulations and things of that. And so it's very tedious process, and I would venture to say that it's more difficult to gain citizenship here in Ghana. I'm not sure about the other African nations, but it's more difficult to gain your citizenship coming to Ghana than it is for somebody going to America to gain the citizenship. And that's just my opinion from what I've experienced. Now, if you want to just go through the regular process, it may be 7 or 8 years you have to wait, and then, you know, you go through the process. But there's a program that they have called the Right of Abode. And if you are so inclined, I will leave the link in the description and you can go and study it. But the Right of Abode is a program whereby they will give you like I guess permanent residency. So it's like a citizenship, but just like a step below citizenship. And this was a program that was created around 2000, I guess around 2000. So it's been on the books for a very long time, but from what I've heard, virtually nobody has been able to, I guess, get their citizenship or this right of abode status outside of maybe a handful of people. And I'm told that one of those people is the wife of the late Bob Marley, because Bob Marley relocated here, his family here. So I'm told that she was able to get her right of abode to become a permanent citizen. I'm told that outside of her and maybe a couple other people, nobody has been able to obtain it. Now, I haven't found any figures. That's just what I've read in the media. So, but the right of abode allows you permanent status here, and so you have like all of the rights, and it's applicable to Africans living in the diaspora, and it's even applicable to Ghanaian citizens that have lost their citizenship for the reason that they might be citizens of another country, and that country does not allow dual citizenship. So somewhere along the line, Ghana created this right of abode so that, you know, they can, you know, enjoy all the privileges without necessarily being a quote-unquote citizen. And I'm told that it really wasn't fully implemented, so that's why if you try to obtain it, it's very, very difficult, because it's on the books, but it was never really fully implemented. But it's something, if you're interested in your citizenship, to go and research it and see if it has any value for you. But outside of that, in 2016, as John Mahama, the then president of Ghana, was about to leave, he granted these citizenship, full citizenship, to these 34 Africans who had relocated to Ghana. And I know a couple of them. I mean, I know all of them, really. I don't know them personally, but you see, you know, it's a very small community, so you see them at all of the functions. But a couple of them I have personal relationships with. Now, so they got their full citizenship, so they're dual citizens, you know, usually Caribbean country in America, the UK, something like that in Ghana. Now, after John Mahama lost the presidency, of course, he was replaced by the new president that's still in office, whose name is Nana, and forgive me if I mispronounce the names, you know, so if I butcher the names, just you know, forgive me. But the current president is Nana Akufo-Addo, and he did a one-up on John Mahama by giving approximately 126 Africans that were living in the diaspora and relocated to Ghana. So he gave them, and that was in November of 2019. Now, out of that group, I was a part of the group, but I didn't get my citizenship. It was perhaps over 300 of us that actually applied, and when it came down to it, you know, we thought, you know, initially they were like, you know, virtually all of us got approved, except with the exception of a few people. But when it came down to it, for whatever reason, only 126 people were actually approved, and we're still hopeful. They're still trying to get others from that group approved, but I believe that this needs to be prioritized. I believe that the whole program, not necessarily just giving us that didn't get it priority, but I mean this whole program. It needs to be a priority throughout the sub-Saharan African countries. And I believe that these countries should follow in the footsteps of Ghana. Now I'm going to read to you what John Mahama said when he actually gave citizenship to the 34 people in 2016. And this is a quote from John Mahama. So he says, "You have expressed so much gratitude to me and other stakeholders for the opportunity given you today. But I do not think you have to thank me, because I have only restored to you what rightfully belongs to you and was painfully taken away." Did you hear that? He's not giving us anything, but he's restoring something that already belonged to us. Because no matter how you look at it, how you slice it, dice it, or chop it, I may have been born and bred in the United States of America, but I believe that we have to agree that I'm still African. And I don't know how much value you put in these DNA tests. You know, I take them with a grain of salt. But one of my family members had his DNA test, my brother, and it came back and said that our family is blood. It's composed of the DNA from Nigeria, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire. And so you have to admit that we are African. And I've seen people who made the comment online when discussing this whole topic of citizenship and whether we should have citizenship or some kind of streamlined citizenship for us. And some people said, well, when you go to other countries, you know, we, let's say coming from Africa and we go to the U.S., you know, we may have to wait 6 years or 7 years or what have you, or longer, before we get our citizenship, and we have to go through these hurdles and that hurdle. But I can appreciate that. But here's the difference, is that we didn't choose to leave and go to the U.S. when we lost our citizenship, right? So we didn't just give it up voluntarily, from everything that I've read. Anyway, now if you know something different, you please correct me in the comment section. But from everything that I can gather, most people most Africans living in the diaspora were taken involuntarily. Now granted, Africans have been traveling way before the slave trade, so we were already well established around the world. But a lot of us were taken, and Ghana, from what I've read, has more slave dungeons, castles, whatever you want to call them, than virtually anywhere else. They say that approximately 75% of the slave dungeons were built in this country, which means that a lot of slaves went through. A lot of people who were then enslaved went through this land. So a lot of West Africans were taken from this area and shipped to the New World. So now you have an issue where you say, well, we have to wait. But now, should we have to wait here 6 years, 7 years, 10 years before we can obtain citizenship? I believe Ghana has made the bold move and the right move to say let's streamline this process for these people, because to help us, we're only helping ourselves. So we have to grapple with the question of what can we do to help facilitate the people who have taken the risk to come back and relocate to the land of their ancestry. How can we help these people to become meaningful contributors in the land of their forebears? That's what we need to answer. That's what the African leadership needs to begin to address. Because let me tell you, some people may say, well, you just come and you establish yourself and you run a business and you help this, that, and other, so it'll come. And I understand that and I appreciate that thinking. But you know how it is. Women, you know when you start dating and you start hanging with a guy, you ain't gonna, especially in Africa, you ain't gonna wait too long before you be like, hey, I need a real commitment. You may spend 1 or 2 nights, but after that, you like, I need a commitment. You like, hey, looking for a ring or something. Right? You ain't gonna just start shacking up, sharing finances, cooking every day, making this commitment with no commitment. You want a real commitment. And so it's the same thing you have now. When you have Africans coming from the diaspora by the droves. They may come for vacation, but then they relocate, and at some point we have to start talking about a commitment, right? And we don't want to simply keep hearing that, hey, you know, because when you hear, come one, come many, come all, you come, everybody come, all the Africans all over the world should come back to Africa. Now, and then when we get here and we start talking about that Mahama Paper, people go, Mom, you like, where's the Mahama Paper? That's a problem. That's a problem. Because, and I'll tell you why it's a problem. You don't have citizenship, you're a wanderer, right? You have to have citizenship wherever you decide you're going to reside. You need to have citizenship. And when we get here, contrary to popular belief, we don't have this bag of money that we can just keep pulling from. It's like every time you put your hand in the bag, some more money comes out, poof. Poof, because we're coming from America. People believe that. They believe that, but you have to look at it from the standpoint of the average black coming from, let's say, America. And I'm pretty sure it's like this in the other Western countries. They're essentially, we're coming with little more than the shirt on our backs. We don't have much, and we're coming into an environment that, with no fault of our own, is foreign to us at this point. And we have to adjust. And in that adjustment, we know we're not going to come here and find a job. There ain't no jobs. Now, you decide to go and leave Africa and go to America, go to Great Britain, go to China, you're going because you know, okay, There's some better opportunities, for certain opportunities. I can go get a job, I can go do this, I can go do that. But now when we leave these countries coming here, we're coming because, yes, we believe that we can create some opportunities for ourselves and our families, for the future generations, that we can create a better opportunity. This is where we believe our home to be. But we know we're not coming to any jobs. We know that we're not coming where there's just resources abundantly flowing for us for the asking. And we're not asking for that. What we're asking for at the very minimum is citizenship, proper citizenship. Because if you don't have it, and you have to come here and hit the ground, and the only way we can survive here is to create entrepreneurial opportunities for ourselves. And if you don't have citizenship, creating those entrepreneurial opportunities are going to be a serious hassle. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't do it. We do it every day. But in many cases, we're having to kind of circumvent various laws, go around this system, pay bribes, do this, have citizens to front for us in various regards as it relates to business. So it becomes a serious impediment to doing business. And that's not why we're moving here, to live and to continue to move in a sketchy manner. We want to be legal and free. And for all of the African countries that are now trying to imitate or follow Ghana's footsteps with all of the, Ghana had, of course, the year of return, and the citizenship became a big part of that year of return. And so it was so successful of a program where many Africans throughout the diaspora came to visit Ghana, and they got to know Ghana and became familiar with Ghana, and some of them began to relocate to Ghana. So now you have the other African countries looking at like, hey, we got program too, come with our program. So if you're going to announce that you have a program and try and duplicate this, you also need to get serious about a discussion about that Mahama Paper, right? That citizenship, that C word. If, and that needs to not include, I'm not talking about your regular way of going through getting citizen. I'm talking about a streamlined approach so that as we decide to move here from the diaspora, we can hit the ground running. Because, like I say, when you're not a citizen, man, you gonna be paying people just to maintain. Everybody wants a cut because they know you're not really legal. You're not, you kind of going around the system a little bit, so you need to pay me something. And you always feel like you're just one step to being caught and getting in some kind of trouble, and so you're kind of walking on pins and needles, and it just opens you up to a lot of problems that you don't need. So to help resolve this, we really need to try and get people to become citizens. And I'll tell you why it makes sense for the various countries now, because you have to look at it like this. There are over, I guess, 140 million Africans living throughout the diaspora. And, of course, perhaps only a handful want to come back. But, even if it's, let's say, 1 million of them, no one country in Africa can absorb that million. Nobody's trying to do that. And no matter how generous Ghana wants to be, Ghana can't absorb, a million people just come, boom, hey, give us citizenship. No, they can't do that. But I'm sure they can do 1,000, 10,000. Gotta do something. Right now we at, 126 from 2019, and then there's another 34 in 2016. So what's that, 126 and 130, that's about, 160? Okay. That's a start. That's a great start. And I'm hoping it gets better. I hope it just blossoms from there. But it's a great start. And I'm hoping that the other African countries begin to duplicate that. Right? If you want to be, Ghana has been a boss. Ghana's always, and y'all sleeping on Ghana. Ghana has always kind of been a boss when it comes to Pan-African movement now. Ever since its founding, under its leader, Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana has been a boss. Has always, since 1957, obtaining its independence, Ghana has led the way, and it continues to lead the way. And it is my hope that other African countries do imitate them and imitate, hey, this whole citizenship program that they've implemented to streamline this process and get these Africans living in the diaspora their citizenship. At the very least, right? We coming back to no land and no resources, to no jobs. So at the very least, let us come back to citizenship. Let us get it so that we can hit the ground running. And I'll tell you why it makes sense to do it, like, quick. Because when you are a citizen of a Western country, coming from a structured environment, you're used to, like, a tax system where you start a business or whatever, and you're paying taxes, but the local citizens here aren't used to this whole tax me type of environment. So it's difficult to collect them taxes from those citizens. But now when you make citizens of these people coming from the West, they're not going to be resistant too much to paying taxes because they're already used to it. And you see countries, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get more formal. I know Ghana is trying to get more formal with tax collections and things like that. So it makes sense that if you want a steady stream of taxes, make citizens of the Africans that are coming from Western countries who are seeking their citizenship. It just makes sense to do so, right? And so, because when we come, we know the only way we're going to be able to sustain ourselves is through entrepreneurial efforts. So we're going to have to create employment. And in creating that employment, we generate taxes and, of course, employ others. So that is why I say we need that Mahama Paper, right? We need the Mahama Paper. And so I hope that Ghana remains vigilant with this program, even if we get a different president in office. And if the current president remains in office, I hope that he continues the program and expand it so that it encompasses many more of those of us who are seeking our citizenship, so that we can begin to be valuable and meaningful contributors to this country and to this society. So anyway, you tell me what you think. This subject sometimes it creates a bit of controversy for whatever reason, and I can understand that some people feel like, hey, things shouldn't be easier for these people. It should go through the same process. And, you know, and I try to be objective with things. I try and look at them from both sides. Even though I have a vested interest in it, I still try to say, you know, what's the right thing to do, you know, not what's just going to benefit me. Because, you know, so many people just look at what's going to benefit them and, hey, that's the right thing. Whatever's going to benefit me is the right way to go. And I just try not to look at matters that way anymore. I try and look at what truly is the right way, the right path. And there's no right or wrong here. You know, it's a very complex topic of discussion, and I would really like to hear your feedback on what you think. You know, if you're going to commit to the country and you hear everybody saying, come, 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 every video trying to lure Africans to the continent, and I'm saying like, time out, time out. That's good and all, but first of all, let's discuss this Mahama Paper. Some of my Mahama Paper, it's windy out here, and some of my Mahama Paper just flew away. I'm gonna have to make sure I go and find it. I don't want to jump off the camera, so hopefully none of the insects or creepy crawlers take it away before I get down there. But anyway, my name is Eric McNeil, and this has been another episode of the Eric McNeil Be Free Show. I'll see you on the next episode. Until then, I want you, if you like what we're talking about, please hit that subscribe button. I don't know if it's going to be on this side or this side, but just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notify button, comment, share it, do whatever, you know, because that's the only way that I keep making videos. Like I say, can't just be doing this for my health. Alright, so it's been good, and I'll see you on the next episode. Until then, hoorah, ahuru.
Wicked and never. One day things will get better. They got me found in Ghana, America and Jamaica. And they count my paper, I don't make credit to haters. Hey, yeah, you want me on it. You know say me love you only. Me love how you wine for me. You kill me when you call me. My heart desire, you are the only one I require. I require forever, forever, forever. You know say I no go fit take another. Make them talk, I no go bother. If it no be you, then my paper, my paper, my paper. Oh yeah, Mahama Paper, paper, paper. Oh yeah, frankly paper, paper, paper. Inshallah, inshallah. Let them alone, 'cause them in my love. What they say, don't be yaro. Tommy, still by me, lean on me. Only on the make it cause this river. My brain bigger, my brain be bola. I go protect you like soldier. Gaga, mana bada. Meaning Sammy and now we are dada. Mama Kai under fire. Or don't bring ye Sakuaba, Makoaba, Amunkoda, Bandana, Shatawalesi, Inshallah. Let them alone, 'cause them in my love. Inshallah, inshallah. Let them alone, 'cause them in my love. While they say, don't be yaro, yaro. Yaro money, Billy Wanna, Billy Wanna, Billy Wanna, yaro money, Billy Wanna, Billy Wanna, Billy Wanna, guide me. So me now watch nobody. Oh baby, oh mommy, it's my but my Tommy. Stay by me, lean on me. Only on the make it cross this river. My brain bigger, my brain be bola. I go protect you like soldier. Gaga, mana bada. Me name Sammy and now we are dada. Mama Makai and the fire. Or just Ben yes, I go up. I'm on Koda. Bandana, Shata Walesi. Inshallah. Let them alone, 'cause them in my love. While they say, don't be yaro. Yaro money, Billy Wanna, Billy Wanna, Billy Wanna, yaro money, Billy Wanna, Billy Wanna, Billy Wanna, yaro money. Wickeder than ever. One day things will get better. They got me found in Ghana, America and Jamaica. I they count my paper, I don't make credit for hater. Hey, yeah, you want me on it. You know say me love you only. Me love how you wine for me. You kill me when you call me. My heart desire, you are the only one I require forever. You know say I no go fit take another. Make them talk, I no go bother. If it no be you, then my paper. Oh yeah,